Udawalawe or Yala National Park? Which one of these national parks is better for a jeep safari? If you're in Sri Lanka or planning to go there sometime, you would want to enjoy a wildlife safari for sure. This is the #1 activity to do when in Sri Lanka. I was lucky to enjoy both of these safaris at Yala and Udawalawe. I do have a personal favorite between these two, and I swear it's not because of an unfortunate accident. I'll tell you about that later. But what I liked or didn't like doesn't really matter here because we all have different likes and needs, right? So I'll let you figure out the answer from my experience. A quick recap of my 9-day Sri Lanka adventure so far. Landed in Colombo from Delhi, stayed at this beautiful $150 per night Merino Beach hotel in Colombo for a day, took the most beautiful train ride in the world to 𝐀𝐫𝐯𝐢𝐧 and spent 2 days there before coming to Yala. And now we are in our next phase of the trip here in Sri Lanka. The next 2 days, the focus is going to be on the national parks and seeing the beautiful wildlife. So there are 2 national parks here. One is Yala National Park and the second one is Udawalawe National Park. Udawalawe National Park is less chaotic and you could see large herds of elephants. You could also spot some really beautiful birds. You can see crocodile. But if you want to see leopards, then you must go to the Yala National Park. That one is a little bit more expensive as well. You could get some tickets from Airbnb experiences or TripAdvisor, but that usually is going to be about $50 per person. Or you can contact a local safari company, which we did, like right here in Yala, and they would charge you about $50 for the entire jeep. And for transfer from Yala to over there, it might be another $30 to $40, and then they'll drop off at the Udawalawe National Park guest house, which is where we're going to be spending the night. And all of these places are like a triangle, about 2 hours from each other. So from Yala to Yala National Park is going to be 2 hours. From Yala National Park over to the Udawalawe National Park is another 2 hours. And if we go straight to Udawalawe National Park, then that's also 2 hours. So the adventure begins. Let's get started. All right, guys. So we are arriving there in about 600 meters. This was a fun journey, and now we are ready for the Yala National Park safari.
I'm so freaking sorry that I didn't stay. Didn't mean to run and throw it all away. Praying, wishing, hoping that it's not too late.
Hello. Nice to meet you. Yeah.
Nice to meet you.
This is gonna be our ride?
Yes.
Wonderful. All right, people, welcome. This is gonna be our ride. It's gonna be a little bit hard for mommy to climb, but hopefully it'll be just fine. Look at that, so nice. Let's see if we can fly the drone. Can we fly our drone over there? I've got a nice 4K.
It's illegal actually.
Okay.
Yeah, but if you want,
We'll figure out. I'll share the footage as well. We'll see if.
but I have to ask them first. Let's ask, and maybe if you want to fly your drone around buffer zone, that's okay. But inside the national park, it's not allowed in Sri Lanka. It's not allowed in Sri Lanka.
Okay.
Yeah, but I will try.
Okay.
Let me ask first.
Sure,
And I
sure.
will tell you, right?
Yes, yes.
Okay.
Careful.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, people, ready for the Yala National Park safari. Oh, nice. Amazing. The ranger has gone inside to get the tickets from the office, and that's the entrance to the park. So there are a lot of different areas, different blocks, and the chances of spotting a leopard there may be higher. It's always better to come from this block. So here there are about 30 to 40 leopards. So we're gonna get inside very soon. It's about 2:30 almost, and this is our evening safari tour, and that's what we're gonna try and find. A leopard. Yala is the most visited and second largest national park in all of Sri Lanka. It's got 5 blocks, but only 2 of them are open to visitors. Block 1 and 5, the one which we're in right now. You need special permission to get into blocks 2, 3 and 4. And remember this, best time to come here is between February and August, during the dry season. This is when you can see animals hanging around the water holes and lagoons. Just trust me, I'll tell you more on this later. What are the other animals we can see here?
Jackals, birds, spotted deers, and sometimes snakes like cobras, pythons, especially rat snakes, Indian rat snakes.
Nice.
Wild buffaloes, crocodiles.
Okay. You gotta go either in the morning from 6 a.m. to 9 a.m. or late in the afternoon from 2 p.m. to 6 p.m. if you want to see wildlife. And just so you know, the park is closed to tourists in September, so the animals can wander around during the drought. Most people, like you and I, go to Yala National Park to spot leopards. But let me be honest, there are no guarantees that you'll get to see a leopard during your safari. Sometimes you'll get to see so many of them in just one safari, and sometimes even after visiting multiple times, you won't see Remember, my advice about visiting during the dry season, this is why. I made the mistake of visiting during the monsoon season, which hits the East Coast from November to March, and it's the wettest from November to December. Because of this, the park became a muddy wasteland, and our car got stuck in the mud because we took an unorthodox route. As you can see, we had to take an alternative route because the bridge is broken over there, and here it's too muddy. So we're trying to get out of here. Alright guys, we have the pleasure of getting off the jeep in here, which normally you won't see a lot of tourists do. But because our jeep is stuck, and we're enjoying this experience as well. We found ourselves stuck in the mud with no immediate solution. So I decided to lighten the mood by taking pictures of the situation. So this has never been explored before on foot. Oh look, Papa, cheetah's feet. The cheetah was here. Oh my god. However, soon after, they asked me for my help to accelerate the vehicle while they pushed, and I gladly stepped in to assist. This is a manual car. After a few hours and many failed attempts to get it unstuck, another jeep coming from block 1 showed up. There's a jeep coming. No animals, but a jeep. We're stuck here. Did you guys see any leopards? No, we didn't see anything but peacocks.
Yeah.
Where are you all from?
Ireland.
Oh, wonderful. One of my favorite places.
Yeah.
I was just there. I've got friends in Galway, so I flew into Dublin, and I think Ryanair's from Ireland, so it takes you everywhere. They had to go the opposite way from where we came, but that really wasn't an option since all 3 ways, the concrete bridge, the land route, and the one we came from, would all lead to either getting stuck or worse. And then they decided to go anyway. This happened. At least now we have company. Those leopards are surely going to love the buffet. Here is another one potentially getting stuck. So there's no way to cross this? Crazy. I think if all of them help this one get out, then we might be able to tow you guys out. My mom is... No?
We need more men.
Yeah. After some more hours of failed attempts, our guide called some locals who finally showed up to help us get out. They first tried to get the second Jeep unstuck so they could pull our Jeep out with it, but that didn't work. Alright guys, still nothing, but hopefully soon we're gonna find a way to get out of this mud. Otherwise, we're just still stuck here. So a new Jeep arrived, as you saw. They've got some wooden planks and yeah, just trying their best. Yeah, there's no way out. I think that's what they're saying. What if there are more vehicles coming, he says. Why don't we try that one first? If that works, I didn't get the rest. No, it's our guy who convinced everybody. He says, let's just try and work on that one. Let's hear Mommy's expert comments. They needed a four-wheel
vehicle and yeah. They brought the same one.
That's true. Come on. Yes. What do you guys think is going to happen now? You should say logically no, hopefully yes.
I'd like to say support.
Oh wow, this made like topple. Alright, good luck. Yes. Alright guys, what do you guys think? Is it going to happen? I think there's got to be some strategy on this. Still, every time I get stuck, I feel like we try all these methods. Whoa! Yes. Go. Push. Nice. Yes. Now we can continue our safari. One down. We got one more to go.
Imagine you just drove off.
I'm driving.
Or he's like, okay, the passengers of this Jeep, let's continue with our safari. We've paid our dues. We've been stuck 2 hours now. Hey, good job. Yeah. Great job.
Great. Good work.
Yeah.
Just when I started to say, hey, I've never seen any of these methods work, and they pull the car out. What are the odds on that now? What's going to happen? Good job.
Go team.
Yeah, go team. The second Jeep took much less time because it wasn't stuck as much in the mud as ours was. After getting my mom back on the Jeep, we continued our safari. And oh, the people who came from Block 1 didn't see anything either. But it was still a good drive through the jungle where the breeze felt amazing. Our guide was really nice and he bent the rules with our permission and stayed an extra hour looking for leopards till 7 p.m. This was also unique because not many people would have experienced the jungle during the nighttime. And then finally, we headed to Udawalawe National Park, where we had booked a guest house to spend the night. Another beautiful day of wildlife adventure. Today we're gonna go to the Udawalawe National Park. This is famous for huge herds of elephants, crocodiles, some amazing species of birds, and a lot more. Not so much leopards because that was just yesterday in the Yala National Park. So today we have a different safari experience, a different guide who's waiting outside, and we're headed to that beautiful Jeep so we can get in bright and early. It is about 6 o'clock and this is the time that the national park opens. Hello, I'm Arvind, nice to meet you. Perfect, great, let's go. So this is gonna be our Jeep, Sean's Safari Service, and we have Sean himself.
Yeah.
So we'll put a link in the description, so if you want to book directly from Sean. Today's experience at Udawalawe is 9,000 Sri Lankan rupees, and he's gonna help us find some great wildlife. So let's get started. We had to get up early for our safari in Udawalawe National Park since we had booked ourselves the morning safari. I was thinking we would surely see some animals now. The dry season is definitely better time to visit Udawalawe National Park, as the lack of water means plenty of wildlife to be seen around reservoirs. I had heard that Udawalawe is relatively quieter than Yala and we will not encounter a lot of other jeeps. However, that wasn't the case, mainly because most people choose to go during the peak morning hours. So you can see all these safari jeeps are lined up here to get the tickets, the permission, and it's about 28,000 if you have an Indian ID. So usually on TripAdvisor you would see that you could book per person and they would charge you like $25, $30, maybe $50. But really if you book it here, then you could have the whole jeep to yourself. Look at the line that they have here. So as you can see, there's the adult fee, which is $25. Then for a child, it's $15. And then you have it $10 as a fee per group. So per jeep, that's the charge. And then there's 15% tax on top of it. Look in mine.
Once we entered Udawalawe, the sun was rising and all the birds came to life. The scenery was amazing, and soon we also saw our first mama elephant with her baby. I have to say, personally, I found Udawalawe much more satisfying and enjoyable. This one is more open than Yala, so you get some great views of reservoirs and wildlife. I saw everything in Udawalawe while I didn't get to see much in Yala except for peacocks.
I am careful. Oh, they sleep while they are standing? Very nice.
I also learned that elephants can sleep in a standing position. We also saw so many elephants up close and personal.
Right behind me you can see these spotted deers, and they are very common here in the Udawalawe National Park. You could find them anywhere, and of course you see a lot of these deers in India as well.
We also saw spotted deers and even saw dead deer that was killed by a crocodile.
How did this deer die? Crocodile killed it?
For me, Udawalawe was a much better experience than Yala, and probably also because we didn't get stuck in the mud this time. In my humble experience, if you can only do one of these two safaris, then Udawalawe National Park is the better one because it truly allows you to immerse yourself in the nature.
Alright guys, this concludes our 3-hour safari tour of Udawalawe National Park, and we saw some beautiful elephants, we saw crocodile, we saw land monitor, we saw a bunch of different deers, and the highlight was definitely elephants. We saw a bunch of different birds as well. It was great. But now it's about 9:30 and it's starting to get a little bit warm as well. So we're gonna end our safari, go back to the hotel, rest up a little bit, and then hopefully the next stop's gonna be Marissa. And this is a place where we could do whale watching.
That's it for this video, but be sure to check out my other experiences in Sri Lanka, like whale watching, scuba diving, and especially the one where I went 1 kilometer inside Earth to discover a blue lagoon. I'll be back soon with more of my adventure. Until then, thanks for watching and goodbye.